Welcome to our channel, Stress Induced Left Eye Twitch. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Bo.
And today we are going to tell you guys a little bit about our lives. So this is my house, so it's like a weird setup today. Sorry. This really dark blue wall. I would have never picked the color of this wall.
I like the colors.
No, I want it like your house.
She wants all of her house redone, but I like it.
Yeah, I want it to be like Bo's
I don't
house.
like your carpet though. It's brown.
It's brown pooped color.
What
Okay.
story are we telling today?
So we're talking a little bit about our lives and getting a little bit real with you guys, which I know normally we're pretty funny. We're not funny, but we're funny and not very serious and kind of silly and that's so fun. And that's exactly how Bo and I like to be most of the time. But today we thought we would share with you about how we lost our brother.
A life event.
Yeah, a life event. So like a story time, but not a funny story
I
time.
think you guys just need to get to know us a little bit more.
Yeah. So we are sisters, not twins. People ask us.
Nope.
But
I am the youngest.
Yeah.
Then it's her. Then we have a brother, Jordan, and then we have a brother who's the oldest, Justin.
Yes, so there's 4 of us. And when Bo was, how old were you? I can't ever remember.
11 or 12?
Yeah, and I was like 13,
So 13 or 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 13. We lost our middle brother, Jordan. And it was in October, and we were at school. And
Okay, so I was 11, she was 13.
Yeah.
He was 15, turning 16.
Yeah, I think that's right. And we were homeschooled for high school. I know that's kind of crazy, but we also went to Metro,
Which
or
is
like
a community college,
yeah, at the same time. So our brother Jordan was at this community college. And
we were not there yet.
No, we were in like a private Lutheran school. And Jordan was walking across the street for lunch with our cousin, and he ended up being hit by a car, and he died. And, I mean, we could make this story, like, super long and go on about what happened. I mean, it was just, like, we were really young, and it was a huge life event for Bo
sure.
and I.
Yeah.
And obviously it would be for anybody, but I think for Bo and I, it was kind of a different sort of life event than you would think it was. Like, obviously we were sad, and it was hard, and it was really challenging to understand. But I think that started Bo and I really dealing with our emotions in a really strange way.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's somehow it forced us to grow up very quickly.
And we kind of just were like moved
yeah,
on.
it was our parents even, I remember very like vividly them being like, hey, if you want to take off like the next week of school, that's fine.
Or at how much school you
However,
want.
yeah, and we both were just like, can we
No,
go back the next day? Like I felt like we just kind of plowed through. Like it was like something happened and we just wanted to get back to normal as soon as possible.
And it was like so jarring, I think, and we were so young, and it was only Bo and I in the house at that time.
At that point, we really weren't with our older brother. Our
all.
oldest brother at all. He was in New York at the time. Mm-hmm. So, and we were young. He is 10 years older than me, so 8 years older than her. He was living his own life. And it was just kind of like, okay, let's get back to normal. And that's kind of how we have dealt with
everything in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a healthy thing at all. No, it was like, I think the fact that Bo and I were like, we're just going to move on and we're going to deal with it the way that we deal with it. And we kind of like internalized everything. It was super unhealthy. I don't think we ever really learned how to like process through emotions until we were much older. But Bo and I were like, it's her and I against the world, and we're going to deal with it, and we're going to take care of our family, and we're not going to worry about anybody else but us and our family. And so the next day we woke up, and the next day we ended, like, it went like he died. I mean, like, that whole day we waited in the hospital, and the people, the medical staff kept coming to us and being like, oh, he might make it, he might. And then he never made it. Like, they kept giving us these, like, false hope, and Bo and I would be like, okay, great, he's gonna make it, it's gonna be fine. And then by 10 o'clock that night, our parents sent us home with a neighbor, and he passed away that night. And the day after was the like, visitation, the day after was the funeral, and then Monday we went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And we just moved on with our lives. And I know that might sound, like, so harsh, but I think it was just, like, so jarring. We didn't know how to react. He was our best friend. It was us three all the time.
And I don't think there is a formula how to deal with things.
No.
And I think we are learning, even now in our 20s, that maybe it wasn't the healthiest, but it's how we got through at the time. And
Yeah.
I think that, like, even in recent events, we took that break from YouTube, and I think for the first time, I'm learning how to process my emotions
And, like,
not
feel them.
feel every single emotion. So if something bad happens, if something good happens, like, I want to be in the moment, but I've just never dealt with things like that. It's always just been like, I don't know, I think life has, guys, and maybe you'll hear more. I know that this is a very, like, serious thing, but maybe you'll hear more stories in the future of things that have kind of shaped our lives. But I think that we've had to just kind of, like, flatline some emotions and just get through.
Oh my gosh, so many emotions. And I think from that day on, so he died October 1st / 2nd of 2007, I think.
No, 2003.
2003, that's right. And from then on, it was like hit after hit after hit after hit in our lives, in our personal lives.
That was the starting point.
It was like the starting point of the stress-induced left eye twitch. And maybe it was the starting point because we were, like, aware enough to understand what was going on around us. We were old enough, or getting into our teenage years and whatever. But Bo and I are both born-again believers. We believe in God and Jesus, and we believe that he died on the cross to save us from our sins. And he has been the cornerstone, the foundation, the everything in our lives. And for me, it was from that day forward that I believe that I really owned my faith and what I believe in. And flash forward, is that what it's called? Flash forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Fast forward.
Fast forward. Fast forward. I found out I was pregnant back in January of 2015. Yeah. I was super excited. I had gotten married the year before.
2014, but
it
4
says
months
up there,
later,
September 20th, 2014, I got married. I found out I was pregnant in January. My due date was the exact same date of my wedding, so September 20th of 2015 was my
exact
due date.
year later.
Yep. It was so exciting. Her
due date came and went. Nothing was happening.
Nothing happened. And my OB let me go 2 weeks without inducing. She was like, I'm going to give you as much time as you need to go in labor naturally. I called it
natural labor.
But 2 weeks came and went, and I was still not having anything happen. And so my doctor was like, okay, so Friday, October 2nd, we are going to induce you. You're going to have a baby that day. I was like, oh my gosh. See, I was like so far past my due date at this point. Mm-hmm. And I went into natural labor on the 1st.
October 1st. What was it, 12 years later?
Yeah,
12 years later.
And I had my son October 1st at like 7:30 p.m.
Our brother's name is Jordan Lee
Lee.
Whitney, and she named her baby Jordan Levi.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say it.
Jordan Levi.
Jordan Levi.
And it was just like this crazy blessing from God.
And we're not going to sit here and our videos are not going to be like, oh my gosh, we're Christians, you should believe what we believe.
No.
But honestly, like, our faith is a huge part of our lives. It's a huge part of how we are the women that sit here before you. And we feel like it's something we want to share with the 420 of you at this time. Like, it is a big part. And I don't feel like our God is a God of coincidence or mystery or whatever. And that was not just a coincidence.
It was like
that was a blessing.
Crazy. It was so.
He even looks like him.
Oh my gosh! When he came out, we were all like, he looked exactly like my brother looked when he was born, and it's just crazy that God would be so good to put like for 12 or 13 years. I'm sorry, we're really terrible with dates. It was that day was such a day of like mourning. And we would every year as a family go to the grave together. We would watch a memorial video together. And I think all of those things are really good. Like good to remember our brother Jordan by. But God turned that day into like this completely
sweet
oh
thing.
my gosh, it's like this amazing day.
And it's
for
not like
us as a family.
It's not like it's been like he's been replaced in any way.
Not at
it's
all.
just something that we needed as a family to kind of get past that day as just like a somber thing, and now it's like a salty sweet thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's just an amazing. It can be bittersweet, but like the fact that he was born, he was literally born on the day that my brother died. Like that's just God's goodness to us, I think. So we might every once in a while throw out a serious video, a video about our lives and about the kind of people we are. We love doing the fun stuff. I mean, honestly, this is not the type of video we want to do all the time. But I think it's important that you guys know who you're subscribing to and what you're subscribing to. And if you ever have any questions, please just comment to us or DM us or whatever the lingo is these days. We really try to respond to everyone, and we just want you to know us as real people, and we're real people with real emotions, and this is really what we believe in and really what we are about. And I think that will be reflected in our channel for better or for worse. Like, we don't care, we do it for fun.
This crazy journey, and we just want to include you guys.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. I know this was serious. We have some really fun videos planned, and just keep in on whatever for the ride on the stress-induced left eye twitch.
Thanks, guys.
Like us and subscribe down below. Thanks.